Oh, it is time for some RV camping with Wade's RV. Thank you guys for tuning in to another great episode. Today we're going to talk about open house.
Let me tell you, that was like a playground for me, and I am so excited that I got to go. I mean, I hope I get to go back next year. It was awesome.
Now, before we dive into all the details, let's lay down that foundation for the viewers right now. Open house, it happens every year. It happens in Elkhart, Indiana. That's where basically most of all of the manufacturing for RVs and trailers and all that happens right there in Elkhart, Indiana. And so that's why we travel. All the dealerships travel to Elkhart, Indiana every year. And that's where you make your good deals. That's where you pick up new brands. And that's where sometimes you have to have that hard conversation and you might drop a brand or two.
That is true. It's the RV show for RV dealers. And it's really interesting because if we go to an RV show, we know the other people there. And it's kind of weird because you're going to see your competition and you can't just actually look at the RV.
Yeah.
So it's different, but it was a cool environment to be in. And there was some difficult conversations that we had to have, but at the same time, they're not that difficult because the products weren't selling that good. Secondly, nothing changed on them. And we like to be revolutionary, as we talk about. There is a reason each one of the brands that we carry at Wade's RV were chosen, and it's because of their quality, because of their features, and their design, because we want to be cutting edge. And if it's not cutting edge, it's not going to be here at Wade's RV.
And at the end of the day, Wade's RV, as you guys know, was built with the foundation on service. And so my dad, when he looks at all of that, he likes the pretty stuff, but he also wants to know that when it comes down to the bolts and the foundation and the manufacturer backing up their claims and helping facilitate us when it comes to servicing our customers and making sure that we can take care of their coaches and they're getting a great product, that goes into factor as well. So all of those decisions are kind of made collectively, and it was really cool this year. The marketing team was up there. We had Randy, which is the VP. We had Shane. We had a couple of sales managers, Jason and Jared.
Two opposite sides of it's cool because everyone has their different opinions on the RVs. And so by the time you get the Wade's RV crew up there, you're going to have a whole boat of opinions.
A wide spectrum,
man. You got Jared roping. You got Jason, the Mustang guy. Then you got Big Smoke. He's just, a wealth of knowledge from everything RV. And Randy. I mean, Randy's been involved in just about everything. I mean, he used to be a police officer. He's working on his pilot's license. He's an RV extraordinaire.
Didn't Randy do something with the fire department as well?
He's done a little bit of it all. So you have all those different minds, and then your dad, the RV doctor. I love whenever we all get into a trailer. I don't know if the reps like it necessarily because they get hit with a lot, but it was just, once again, awesome trip. Got to see so many cool things, and we got to go to the RV Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Kinda. We haven't gone inside to actually see the Hall of Fame. I think we're going to get to go in December, and I'm really looking forward to that.
We made some good connections on that, and we definitely got the green light to come back and do some videos there and record and do some podcasts in Elkhart, Indiana, in some of the factories, and so we're excited about that for the future. But man, the theme this year, it was so cool. Interior designer. I swear every manufacturer, almost every, hired some sort of interior designer to come in to really revamp the way the inside of the RVs look. And sometimes, and this was what would happen, guys, we would all walk in, the big crew, and everybody was kind of circled around my dad because we did all of our work the day before. My dad came on the second day, and we were going to show him all of our homework, what we discovered, what we found, pros and cons. And so I would always go back, I don't know if you noticed this, I would sit back in the chair off to the side. Everybody was over here talking, I was listening, but I would just kind of look around. I'm like, wow, this thing actually looks like a house now. It no longer looks like an RV. And like the amenities, the residential size appliances and the center islands and the space that we're not little guys. Everyone's, we're all pretty big dudes. And I'm like, man, these trailers have really came a long ways.
Yeah. Every camper we went in, I mean, there's 4, 5, 6 full grown men inside there. Yeah. So if you're bringing your friends and family, that gives you a good perspective of it. But these manufacturers, they had to step up because people were stepping out because everything was the same, as we were saying. I mean, you go into, just different brands and you would kind of have to sit there and scratch your head and what's different aside from, their little cookie cutter pitches. But these companies, they had to step it up. And I've been really impressed because you see the subtle changes, but during COVID, everything got to be so similar. And now everything's going back to the old school RV world, I would say.
Yeah.
Pre-2020, back in, I say, the glory days, back in 2016 and 17, where you are seeing those distinct differences. Some features I really noticed that I liked were the square windows.
Yes.
That's something design-wise we haven't seen anywhere from any other manufacturers until this year. And is it going to be a standard? We'll see, but it was something that was different, and not all manufacturers are doing it, but the ones that are, it definitely sets them apart because you can see the difference going down the road.
And it's really cool to go down there and have these conversations with the manufacturers and the GMs of the brands and stuff like that because, I kind of thought maybe they were being lazy, and I was kind of harsh on some of the brands. I'm like, well, finally, guys, you've had this same... since COVID, this same color, same floor plans, this and that. And they were like, well, hey, I understand and I get where you're coming from, but during that time, it was scarcity. We didn't know if we're going to get product at all or these parts and pieces and yada, yada, yada. So what they did was they bought everything in bulk, and so they didn't have an option to change.
Yeah,
but I'm so glad to see they have that option, and they're making it happen.
And some of that stuff the designers, what I thought was cool is they are still using some of the same materials, but they changed where they're using it. And so that's where you're able to see that difference. And it like we said, it has been cool. And the floor plans, that's the big thing that I get excited about because everyone has RVs. I mean, you have an AC, you have a heater, you have a stove. I mean, that stuff's cool, but where does it change? In the floor plans, hidden bunk rooms.
Oh my goodness.
That probably was the biggest floor plan change that I took back myself was people are going away from the traditional, you have the big bunk house with the big bunk room in the back where it takes up half of your camper. People are going away from that. They're going to more of the living space and then where you just have your bunk on the side so you can go sleep. I mean, in my opinion, you don't need all that bunk room. Yeah. I mean, who uses all that space anyways?
It makes sense because you're not sleeping all day every day. You're mostly hanging out in the kitchen, watching TV, playing. I think back to what we did growing up as kids with our grandparents when we were camping. We spent most of our time, if it was, outside, obviously. The second most of our time was spent, if there was like raining or something, we're just hanging out in the morning, eating breakfast. We're at the table, we're hanging out, or we're playing dominoes or cards or something right there, or we were watching the TV right before bed. We were not hanging out in the bed.
Or so in the bunk room, yeah.
Or in the bunk room.
We didn't even have bunks.
We didn't either. We had the dinette table. It'd fold down, and that's where we slept.
So it kind of made you do those options, but it was refreshing to me because, for one, I get to use a lot of the RVs we have here on the lot, but I was looking at them, and I've been thinking about getting one here recently, getting my very...
thinking about.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that here in a minute.
Yeah.
The Ibex, I mean, it was really cool, too, and... It was nice because they had me thinking and it got me energized and it got me excited about the products. And coming back here, I was trying to get all the other guys excited because it's just different. And it's something that you can preach and tell people about and get excited about. And so that's what it's all about.
Let's talk about the Ibex. And I got to say this before going into some of the awesome details that they have, but it was cool because at the same time they're showing us this new product, but they're also getting feedback from all of the dealers
about what to improve
based on our feedback, they're going to make some improvements on the Ibex, which I was like, man, this is some cool stuff happening right here. Willie D, you're geeked out about this product or this particular model. Will you tell us more of the features?
My goal next year is to be the #1 Ibex. I don't know if what they term it, the destination, but I'm going to sell a lot of these for for Ibex. We're going to sell a ton of them here at Wade's RV, but it's a revolutionary floor plan. It weighs about 6,000-7,000 pounds, no slide, but it's packed out with features. One feature I haven't seen on any other camper is it's voice activated, kind of like Alexa. So you can walk in and say, dim the lights, or, Ibex, I'm home, and it'll turn the lights on, dim the lights. Yeah. I'm not sure if it'll control the slides, but it has a lot of very cool features like that. But what got me was the functionality.
Yeah.
I love no slide units, but they have to be laid out correctly. With this one, you have a bedroom in the back that can secondarily be a toy hauler if you want. So it's got a really good Murphy bed setup that doesn't fold in the middle. It is a full Murphy bed. So kind of like the old beds that would fold out of the wall. Yeah. Same way with this. And so it folds all the way down, but you have that extra cargo space. Still has space to walk around the bed, and it has a back porch going out from that master bedroom. You move forward in the camper, and then you're going to have your kitchen and living room. Yep. So this isn't going to be one of those campers that you just hang out in all day and night. It does have a nice lounge area that folds into a bed. Would be really great if you had a guest staying with you, but you're not going to be packing 3 or 4 extra people in there. Residential fridge, and not just a residential fridge. It actually goes with kind of a retro or vintage style fridge from the 50s. Yeah. And so it's an electric fridge, but it has that same styling. And what I like is you can put a lot of food in there and a lot of ice cream, because I like taking my ice cream with me when I go camping.
And your pizza pockets.
And my pizza pockets. Got to get those bagel bites. So it had lots of room for that. Residential sink, so it actually was functional. You can clean up those pots and pans, but then you go into the bathroom, because let's be honest, you're usually showering, using the toilet, sleeping in your camper, cooking food, the essentials of having a camper, why you have your camper.
Yeah.
And the bathroom in there, it had a great shower. So my head was nowhere near touching the ceiling. It had a whole bunch of fancy spray nozzles all over. I don't know about all that stuff, but it was a fancy shower, lots of room, glass doors, and it had dual sinks in there where you and your partner could be getting ready. Really, really easy. The functionality, the features, the weight, perfect. This thing, it checks all the boxes for me. So I've told Wade and I've told Randy, I'm pretty sure I'm taking the first one home with me. We will see whenever it arrives, but I am very, very excited, and we should be having one. We're definitely getting it before the show, so that means within 90 days we'll have one.
Yeah.
But, be looking forward to it soon, because it'll be all over Facebook. Don't worry. I'll let people know when it's here.
Yes. So I like some of the favorite features I like is the hangout area, like you said, is not really going to be in the kitchen living room area. It's going to be when you fold up the bed. They have a table that folds up, so you have like a standing, or you either need a bar stool or you could just have like a standing desk. Awesome setup for like a podcast. Awesome setup for like just a work studio, or just to hang out and talk to your friends that are visiting you. And then you go through the slide doors, what's on the very back of the travel trailer, and you have this really nice rugged metal with metal railing. You have your own back patio, if you will.
You have room for 2 chairs. It's perfect size.
Yes, and it has a fixed cover. It's not going to be an awning.
It's a fixed roof.
It's a fixed roof. That. So
with lights in it. So.
Nailed it. You guys nailed it on that one. That's like the features that stood out to me. Loved it.
Now, we already carried Ibex, so that's one of the brands that we've kept, and we're going to keep partnering with them because they are innovating, they are improving. It's been a really good partnership with us, though, over a couple years now. There are some brands that we stepped away from for a little bit, but we're bringing them back on board. Tell them. Now, we can't get into a whole bunch of details, but we are going to start carrying a brand new Super C from Thor Motor Coach.
So, and this thing is bad to the bone. I mean, from
American
the looks,
Racing rims.
Oh yeah, dude.
What RV has rims on it?
The looks from the outside, it's going to be a head turner. It's going to be, the amenities on the inside, amazing. The way it looks on the inside, amazing.
And money.
And it's a diesel Super C. You could get into this unit for $233,000.
It's going to be a really awesome deal. And there's lots of improvements that are happening with that product. They were telling us about a new dash that's coming out that's going to be all electronic whenever they use those older chassis.
Everything's more integrated.
It's
more
just
integration.
Ease of use.
Yeah.
Click of the button. What really, you said the head turner.
Yeah.
Whenever you walk up to it, it's got a great paint job. The front cap, it's a little bit larger than other competition, but you get the space. Whenever you go up in there, it's like a secondary room. So if someone was sleeping in that over bunk area, it's going to feel like they have their own room up there. And so it was really nice. 2 people could easily sleep up there. Plug-ins and the vent. There was a vent directed right over there, which is something many manufacturers don't think about. And if you've ever camped up in one of those in the summer, it gets hot. It gets toasty up in there. And I'm really excited about this. Like we said, the price point, the features, I think it's just going to be a great partnership for Wade's RV, and it's cool. We like cool stuff here.
Yeah. And so excited about that, and some more options available, like the hidden bunk room. All of that's going to be available here pretty soon that you could come out here and view. And don't forget, we have 3 different locations. We have the Glenpool location, we have the Goldsby location, and now Joplin, Missouri. So we literally cover the entire state of Oklahoma, and now Joplin, Missouri, and who knows, we could be expanding somewhere else very, very, very soon. Willie D, I think we pretty much covered most of the bases on what goes on, what is open house, what happens there, some of the new product. 2024, guys, you could look for awesome interior design
changes.
Yeah. That's just second to none. It looks like a house. Some cool features like air fryers, more amenities, less cost. It's now a buyer's market. So if you're in the market for an RV,
get ready. 2024 is going to be awesome.
Oh gosh, come on.
We got the brands, we got the prices, and we got the features, all for you guys.
Yes, sir. All right. Visit us at wadesrv.com. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. Willie D works really hard. He posts these podcasts every Friday at 10 a.m. We might have missed one Friday this year, but man, we've been working hard for you guys. Hope you like all the content. And, you know, go on our Facebook page, because we have questions. Sometimes we ask you guys about camping and stuff like this and that. And Willie D, I got to ask you a question.
Ask me.
It's been kind of going on out there. We had it, I don't know how many days ago we asked this question, but summer camping or fall camping?
I'm going to go with summer camping. I really like getting in the water, cooling off. I love using the ACs in an RV. It really reminds you of why you have an RV, you know, not to be the spoiled brat, but whenever you look out your window and you see everyone out in their tents and they're sweating and you're kicking back and you have those 2 ACs rolling, watching your, TV show, making a sandwich. I love it. So life is good. So I like enjoying all the features that a camper has to offer in the summer, and you hit the rodeo road in a camper. So
I would say fall camping would be my choice. And you actually threw me on a curveball. I thought you were going to say neither, winter camping, because you said that earlier, but that's all good. So I'm going to say fall camping because it's kind of the best of both worlds, man. It's not too hot and it's not too cold. You could enjoy the campfire and the s'mores, and I'm a sucker for shorts and hoodies.
And you can leave the windows open when you're camping.
It's shorts and hoodie weather, man. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.
See you next week.
I love that sound.
And I do love winter camping, too.